What would you do if you were a gaming company?
Shut down the entire country's access to our platforms and the video games that they previously paid for in full because fuck you! Come 1v1 me, I'm EA, I am God, I am the judge, jury, and executioner! Here we go!
Yes, you heard that right. Electronic Arts went ahead and shut down an entire country.
Banned.
From their games.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first or probably the last time that they'll do something like this. So here's what happened. About 4 or 5 days ago, someone who lives in Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, made a lengthy post to the r/gaming subreddit claiming that the 20 games that they owned via EA's Origin platform were no longer available, and that after multiple login attempts, which resulted in an access denied notification, they went to Google and found out that Origin is no longer available in Myanmar.
So even though this person had spent hundreds of dollars buying full versions of these games, their access to the games was seemingly blocked with no indication if it would ever be overturned, and he would hopefully get access back. The author of the post even showed that he wasn't from Myanmar and was only living there, but that didn't matter because in accordance with their interpretation of the law, you can't access games even if you purchase them elsewhere. Now obviously we're talking about digital purchases here, but why the fuck can't you play a game that you paid for?
Yeah! Well, as many Reddit users pointed out, when you purchase a game from a digital platform like Origin, you're technically only licensing the use of this game, and the actual owners of the game, the publisher, could terminate this at any time.
You're out of luck.
Yeah, it fucking sucks, but we're living in the future where this is just standard now.
Sure.
Physical copies of games, they aren't safe either. I mean, sure, you might have the ability to play the single-player version of a game until it loses hardware support if it's on a console, but companies can and have shut down multiplayer support for these games.
Yes. Now, regardless of all of that, this time it seems to actually be a mistake on EA's part.
Whoopsie!
Whoa! Although who knows how long this mistake would have been allowed to continue without the internet being thrown into an outrage by a foreigner who is currently living there and was upset about losing access to, I don't know, probably Battlefield or something. Originally, EA claimed that they were simply obeying a US law that makes it so they can't offer services in certain countries. You know, countries that have sanctions against them. But Obama had just recently lifted the sanctions on Myanmar.
Thanks, Obama.
So EA's Origin would have no problem operating normally there, even though it was later found out that those sanctions apparently wouldn't have specifically targeted services like Origin. So once it was found out that they had done this, they offered up a statement which reads as follows.
We are working to restore access to Origin for our players in Myanmar. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, and we'll share updates on timing as soon as possible. And then EA actually made good on their promise, with service apparently being fully restored in the country, according to a post on their forums, and it was confirmed by one of the community managers there. But again, this probably wouldn't have happened if they weren't called out so publicly. And the original poster, Trivial Sublime, who started this whole thing, offered up a TLDR on a follow-up post that
what a snitch.
We'd love to read for you. Too long didn't read. The move to block Myanmar was likely a business decision that they blamed on the US government. Sanctions did not prohibit them from doing business in Myanmar. Instead, they likely wanted to limit their potential legal liability, and their customers paid the price. If they took away Myanmar's access because they want to reduce their exposure to liability, they can do it to you too.
None of us are safe. Scary stuff indeed. You can take our freedom, but don't ever take our fucking games.
They came after gamers.
Yeah, now it's us who are getting attacked. But there's more fuckery going on in the world of video games this week that we have just the honor of being able to tell you about. And at this point, it should go without saying that, for the most part, you probably shouldn't trust crowdfunding projects if they, A, seem too good to be true, or B, involve video games in any way.
Or from the FaZe Clan.
God damn it. Because, yeah, someone's crowdfunding a game and it's getting them in big trouble again.
Uh-oh.
And this guy's apparently a big YouTuber who leveraged his audience into some crowdfunding shenanigans that are currently going haywire behind the scenes.
Uh-oh, so the game was called ICU, and it was an interactive horror game that was launched via Kickstarter and had raised over $82,000 for its development. The YouTuber with nearly 700,000 subscribers, weak, who was embroiled in this game's development was a guy who went by the name Kroiken. And at the time, he'd boasted about developing this game where the people watching a playthrough of the game on Twitch could throw challenges at the person playing the game, which was supposed to resemble a TV game show.
There you go. Well, one of the guys who worked on this game, who is also Kroiken's former roommate, named Zachary Sweet, I have no idea if he has anything to do with the sweet life with Zach and Cody, but I hope he does.
I hope so.
He's pissed, and he's filed a lawsuit against
Kraken.
Yeah, stating that he'd done the lion's share of the coding related to ICU, which isn't a peeping Tom game.
I see you.
Hello.
I see you.
Hello, games.
Hello, games. But he isn't credited at all for his contributions to the game. Basically, what's alleged is that they started working on this game as a school project at their college. Then Kraken formed an LLC and went to Kickstarter and raised all this money for it without cutting sweet in on anything, despite the fact that he'd done all the work.
I found it on a blog, dude.
Dude, get over it, bro. My name's Fuck Jerry or Fat Jew, and I stole your game.
Yeah, so this sounds eerily close to what went on during the plot of The Social Network, which that's the movie about how Facebook came to be. But hopefully, if it's true that Sweet was responsible for the majority of this game, he gets what he deserves, which was initially his name in the credits.
Yeah, could have been that
That's
simple.
all he's asking.
Yeah.
Either way, this doesn't look like it'll hurt the eventual release of the game at this point in time, so maybe all your Kickstarter dollars are safe. Probably not, but they're safe for now.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on that fucking cartoon that I invested in 4 years ago.
You haven't gotten your cartoon yet?
It's not like I'm getting a personal one.
Oh.
It's one for everyone.
That's why you don't invest.
But wait! No one aside from Zachary Sweet and some guy from Myanmar have been offended by gaming this week.
Wrong!
Wait, wrong, yeah. Everyone's offended. Because Razer decided to throw some jabs at Apple this week for removing all the best parts of its MacBook Pro laptops. Specifically, the lack of an SD card slot, which is a lifesaver for anyone who has to transfer photos or footage without wanting to lug around a separate card reader.
There's a dongle.
They tweeted a photo of their new laptop with an SD card plugged snugly into its slot with a message that said, "You call yourself pro? S my D."
Ooh!
Oh, God.
Oh, no, you did not. I, as a person online, have found something to be offended about.
Yeah.
And upon seeing this tweet, assigned not only a gender to a fucking laptop, but also sexuality to it as well. I'm upset. This Razer computer is forcefully telling the beautiful young apple flower, who is a female now, by the way, for no fucking reason, I just made it female, to suck its fucking dick.
Yeah.
In reality, it was saying, look, we have an SD slot, but here we are, and people can't take a joke. So, of course, this was seen as sexism, despite the fact that you insert the SD card into the Razer slot, giving much more of a, it's got more of a penis in vagina connotation. Maybe the Razer laptop is the feminine one, and the tweet meant, slurp my dugout. You've heard that one, right?
Yeah, we've all heard slurp my dugout.
Slurp
It's
my
a standard
dugout.
phrase for
Yeah.
eating a vagina. Did you ever think of that,
Yeah,
guys?
I
Maybe
don't
it was
think
telling
they
it to
did.
slurp its dugout? Anyways, they had to apologize, obviously, and they sent out a follow-up tweet saying, quote, "We apologize for the SD reader joke. To those who were offended, it was intended as a lighthearted turn of phrase that missed the mark." But then their apology pissed off everyone else on the other side of the issue, who then complained about people being too uptight, like a vagina, and easily offended, like a tech blogger. So now they found themselves stuck in the middle of arguments from both sides, while they probably just want this all to go away so they can get back to selling laptops that offer way more features than a MacBook Pro. It's a better option.
But you can play games on it.
Gaming. My
Gaming.
laptop has a penis.
I can't play a game on the MacBook.
It's true. Can't do a lot with it.
Unless they're like 4 years old. But there is one person who would never apologize for offending someone, because every word that comes out of his mouth is the honest-to-God truth, if you can understand it.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you to decipher exactly what he's saying, because sometimes we can't even understand him. This man is Shibby. He's been stealing his T.U.G.S reviews from our channel and uploading them to his own channel without thinking that we would ever find out.
I tag you guys.
No, we found out, and you've been doing it for a long time.
Busted!
Couple of days.
Yeah, you're going to YouTube court with
Yeah.
Keemstar.
I tag you guys even in the credits.
Too bad. I don't look at that. I'm like a normal YouTube user, and I only look at the thumbnail and the headline.
I just
only
want a
read
copy of them. This one's going up too. T.U.G.S boys and T.U.G.S girls. A few rare times every year a real gem in the rough is released. I know it may come as a surprise that a company like Electronic Arts, alongside Respawn Entertainment, can do right by the gamers. Much like draining the swamp, it's inevitability. The game I'm talking about is, of course, TF2. No, not Team Fortress 2, but Titanfall 2. Before you COD kiddies brush this review off like chip crumbs on the couch, let it be known that everything you seek in a proper, fast-paced shooter can be found beyond your precious Infinite Warfares and remastered editions. It's tough to believe, I know. But Shibby, who gives a shit about another stupid shooter which is hastily released to beat Call of Duty to market, but also allowed Battlefield 1, the love child, to get all the big marketing dollars, big talent events, promotional streams, and early release date blessing? Look, I know it does not make much sense to release major first-person shooting experiences from a company with similar interests all so soon, but clearly EA knew they had a very solid 1-2 punch and wanted to beat Call of Duty to market with enough time to get reviews out into the ecosystem. Metacritic scores higher than Spool. Titanfall 2 with a 90, while Battlefield 1 has an 88. That is damn impressive. Need some more do.
Do it up.
All right. The biggest complaint to Titanfall 2 right now is the perceived low player base, which in my opinion did plague the first title, which lost steam very quickly. It wasn't on Steam, it was on Origin. This may be the first time in history where the only major concern is just getting the game into more people's hands to see how great it is. Do I have my own complaints, such as the playlist menu needing to be reworked a little bit and the option to remove the minor film grain on screen? Sure. Do I feel the Tone Titan loadout is a bit too strong compared to the few other Titans in multiplayer? Sure. However, viewer, I must give credit to where credit is due, such as EA announcing that all future DLC will be free. Woo! Crazy. This is a healthy and promising direction to go. We the gamers, we the consumers, finally being treated like actual people instead of having our wallets raped and then punished by splitting the user base on a game that may already be struggling with user base. Essentially, if you have DLC and then people don't get it, the player base splits. Anyways, business practices like the latter get games killed off very quickly, such as Evolve. Rest in peace. Titanfall 2 has a proper single-player campaign unlike the first, and it's arguably the best single-player experience I have played all year, even better than Doom. I know you are thinking I'm full of shit, but it's not just shooting AI. The platforming and Portal-like moments are fucking fantastic, and the player, as the pilot, you really feel a connection to your Titan named BT. No, not BitTorrent. My hope is that EA sees the positive response to really allowing Respawn Entertainment to make a fantastic game with getting overly hands-on with it and adding bullshit microtransactions like I heard Call of Duty has coming soon. Paid DLC or in-game advertisements. Business practices like this should be supported in Titanfall 2 in terms of delivering fast-paced movement, fluid moving around, I just said that, and overall fun mechanics both in single-player and multiplayer is awesome. I must give Titanfall 2 a goddamn 10 out of 10 here on Tugs because...
Hold on. What?
Go ahead.
What are you doing?
Oh, because it's the right thing.
to stop you from yourself.
Because it's the right thing to do, and the game itself and the team behind it have deserved it. I can only hope that I can only hope that Call of Duty flops, and those players hunger for a better experience and turn to TF2 to scratch that itch.
I don't get you anymore.
That's fine. I'm gonna drink more too.
Well, can't wait till we all find out that Shibby's working for EA secretly as a corporate stooge.
That'd be great.
Oh, enjoy your job over at EA. Hey, you know, I found out recently one of my good friends over the past couple of years, he was actually a pro Titanfall 1 player.
That was a thing?
Yeah, no, I guess so. And then I guess he's going to try for Titanfall 2 as well. I'm sure it's a very limited market, but it exists.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for joining us, Shibs. Thanks for joining us, guys. Another episode of Tugs. I'm out of costume because I'm setting up my VR right now to do a stream. But we have other content that you should watch, including a video about how male birth control is canceled. It didn't end up in sub boxes, so please watch it. It's a great episode. Also, we did a podcast with the father of video games, Nolan Bushnell. So if you actually like video games, you should go watch and listen to that because it's super interesting and the guy is incredible. So
what
check
about
that
me?
out. No, don't watch Shibby's channel.
Unsubscribe.
Bye.
I'm gonna be at BlizzCon. Come say hi.
Yeah.
Fuck.